First-story, ninth floor. New York Prescott Memorial was built in 1903, a towering brick giant in the middle of Manhattan. Once a state-of-the-art facility, it was now just a shadow of its former self, quiet, crumbling, forgotten by time and surrounded by high-rise condos. The city had moved on. But the hospital hadn't. The building officially closed in 1997. But the stories didn't. Locals whispered about flickering lights on the upper floors, the sound of gurney wheels dragging across linoleum at night, and voices crying behind sealed doors. They all warned of one thing. Never go to the ninth floor. 25-year-old Ellie was a freelance photographer and urban explorer. She had spent years sneaking into forgotten places, churches, subway tunnels, asylums. When her friend Marcus dared her to spend the night in Prescott Memorial, she laughed it off at first. But curiosity always won. "I'll even pay you," Marcus said. $500 if you make it to the ninth floor." Ellie accepted. She entered through a broken fire escape on the west wing, flashlight in one hand, GoPro strapped to her chest. The first few floors were covered in dust and graffiti. Peeling paint fell like snow from the ceiling. Gurneys sat frozen mid-hallway, and oxygen tanks lay rusting beside shattered 4 poles. The elevator didn't work. She'd have to take the stairs. As she climbed, the air grew thicker. By the 5th floor, her light began to flicker. By the 7th, the silence was so deep, she could hear her own heartbeat echoing in her ears. On the 8th floor, she found a sign bolted to a rotting wall. Floor 9, restricted, biohazard containment. Below that, someone had spray-painted. They never left. She reached the door to the 9th floor at midnight. It wasn't locked. The hallway inside was darker, colder. She could see her breath even though it was May. Her flashlight danced across surgical curtains still hanging. Blood, fresh, not rust, dripped from the ceiling in thin, slow trails. Then she heard it. A heartbeat monitor. Beep, beep, beep. But no electricity had run through the building in years. She moved toward the sound and found a single room lit in a sickly green glow. Inside, a bed. Someone, or something, was lying on it, under a white sheet. The monitor beeped faster. She approached slowly. Reached for the sheet. The lights went out. Something whispered, "You shouldn't have come." She ran. The hallway twisted, stretched, rearranged itself. No matter where she turned, she ended up back at the same room. She tried her phone, dead. Her flashlight, dead. Her GoPro? Still recording. Still beeping. Just like the monitor. Then she looked down. Her own chest had wires taped to it. The monitor was hers. She was the patient. She screamed. No one ever saw Ellie again. A week later, police found her camera, just outside the hospital. The last thing it recorded? Ellie staring into the lens. Not speaking. Just mouthing words. And behind her, shadowy figures, standing in the hallway. One by one, they turned toward the camera. And smiled. Second sorry title, Room 616. New York Hospital Horror, with an exciting twist. Elaine Morgan had worked the night shift at New York Presbyterian for 8 years, but nothing rattled her like the silence of the 6th floor. It had been shut down after a fire 6 years ago, electrical, they said. 2 patients and 1 nurse died in room 616. The room had never reopened. So when her pager buzzed at 2:43 a.m. with a code blue, room 616, her heart nearly stopped. She checked the system twice. Same result. "That room doesn't exist anymore," she muttered. Wallace, her grizzled supervisor, laughed it off. System burp. Ignore it. But she couldn't. Something in her gut, something deeper, told her not to. Elaine took the elevator alone. The lights inside flickered as she ascended. The moment the doors opened on the 6th floor, the air changed. Cold. Sharp. Heavy with burnt dust. She walked past charred walls and broken tiles until she reached it. Room 616. The door was open. Inside was a bed, intact, impossibly clean. Monitors beeped steadily. A man lay on the bed. Pale, eyes shut, chest rising and falling rhythmically. She approached slowly. Then his eyes snapped open, pure black. "You finally came," he whispered. She stumbled backward. Her radio screamed with static. "You can't save me," he said. "But you can stop it." The lights exploded. The door slammed shut behind her. A fire ignited at the corners of the room, blazing up the walls like fingers. But then, Elaine did what no one had done 6 years ago. She grabbed the crash cart. She powered the defibrillator. "You want to be saved? Let's do it." The man laughed, unholy, inhuman, but she jammed the paddles down anyway. Clear. Electricity exploded. The monitors spiked, then flatlined. A blinding light filled the room. The flames froze, then reversed. Smoke sucked backward into vents. The black eyes closed. And when the lights came back on, the room was empty. No patient. No fire. No soot. Her pager buzzed one last time. Code blue resolved. "Good work, Morgan." Elaine stumbled out, heart pounding, lungs on fire, but alive. And somewhere far below, alarms stopped ringing for the first time in 6 years. If you enjoyed this story, like and subscribe.